National Football League, and the focus is on Rocky Ya-Sin. He got the QB not once, but twice last week with a pair of interceptions. It's the Raiders and the Chiefs on Monday night.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Tonight, we wind up Week 5 with a good battle between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. We welcome everybody again alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and CD, we've got an interesting test here today. One of the league's best passing games and one of the best pass defenses set to square up and see who can perform better in a high-profile matchup.
And you and I talk about all the time how fortunate we are to be in this position, to be around these types of games. And as jacked up as these fans are, how about these two teams? They've been looking forward to testing themselves against what is considered the best on the other side. This is going to be a lot of fun, a very exciting battle headed our way.
Bitter rivals going back to their AFL days in the 1960s. The Chiefs and Raiders are underway. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes the Kansas City offense, and in his 6th season of conducting this high-powered attack, coming off 4 straight Pro Bowls, it's Patrick Mahomes.
I think his task in this game is really simple. Eliminate the turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't believe I led with that because he had 3 touchdown passes.
Right.
So there's a lot of good that he did, but he's got to take care of the ball better. The ball has to go to guys wearing the jerseys that they're wearing this week, not the opposition.
Throwing at the outset, here's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. How about the defense there trying to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing a tone for this one.
So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick 2nd and long. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. Oh, and now some space to operate. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Mahomes now to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. And here comes Abdullah on the return. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And as the Raiders take over on offense, we get to see the man who has been the leader of this team for 9 seasons now, under center Derek Carr.
And what a performance in his last game. A couple of touchdown passes. That was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. What did Vince Lombardi say, though? Winning isn't everything.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 45. Meanwhile, Carr's throw complete there to Johnson. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Carr to throw on 2nd down.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick.
Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point.
Going to take it out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs.
And this is going to be a Raiders first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago. A boatload of carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown.
After the last game, they have plenty of reason to be confident in the running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a changeup.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And he'll up to 3rd and 2 more.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving the running back a crease to run through. That's a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
Trying to run forward with Jacobs.
50 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play the game within the game. And there it is. Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Throwing his car on third down. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And this will stay at a 7-point game. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Well, this defense for the terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Second quarter from KC. It's the Chiefs in possession of the football.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Being chased out left. And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate.
He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the second quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. What if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone?
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe you use that run now to set up the pass, right?
I would think so, because the run has been very effective for them.
A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. The tally there, minus 2 yards. Brings him 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs.
And this is going to be a Raiders first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Taken down at the 47-yard line.
defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading and taking the right back to the ball play. Nothing open downfield, he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw, became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. So on fourth down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Chiefs to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. On first down, Mahomes. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. And he will have the Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
First down pickup by Mecole Hardman, and this season is really his big chance to emerge and break out. Last 3 years, he's been second fiddle among KC's track star receivers, but with Tyreek Hill gone now, this is Mecole Hardman's opportunity to take on a bigger role in the offense.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38. 2nd and 8 coming up. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. From the 38, Mahomes completes it to Hardman. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 13-yard line. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. The quick slant caught. And the Chiefs are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll run with Edwards-Helaire. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 2nd and goal from the 1. One more time with Edwards-Helaire. And he's not going to push his way forward. He's going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. Oh, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. Butker's kick here is good. And they will extend their lead even further. So the long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment.
Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and of course it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. The final shot here before half for Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But they will not be able to capitalize as time has run out here on the first half of play. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, where it was the Browns who were winners in that one at home. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we're out to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. On now to a check on the next-gen stats in the first half for the Raiders. And they did have some success running the football in those first 2 quarters. And that might be something they continue to work on as they try to get back in this game. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. The final adjustments taking place here for both of these squads. They're about ready for the second half in Kansas City. And for the Colt, we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25.
Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3.
By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, trying to slow things down a little bit.
Pick up a couple and leaves him with a 30-40. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that play.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
So where did that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They go with Jacobs. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, oh, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get it, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
He gets this to Davante Adams. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 29-yard line. 23 yards on the play. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Down to about the 22 here. 107 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down. From just shy of midfield, Mahomes. A pass complete downfield. It's Valdez-Scantling. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And this is going to be a Raiders first down as the tackle made here at the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Carr. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up the 4th and 10.
That's not the man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It's a 40-yard punt, but they lose yardage on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. On play action, it's Mahomes. He'll swing this one out to Edwards-Helaire. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's second down. Now here's Mahomes. He rifles one that's intercepted. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And they'll get him down right around the 16. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Carr. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. We're back now in KC. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Carr now to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller from 17 yards out. And the Raiders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And out come the Chiefs now. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw in this type of a game, I would be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Butker now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And they're going to speed things up here. Throwing on first down is Carr. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
And then we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted.
Trent McDuffie with a pick.
And some room to maneuver. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here's Edwards-Helaire.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go play fake. Mahomes. That is caught. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
CD, remember, he had a touchdown earlier, but that was in a much more conventional manner. This time picking up the fumble and taking it in for 6.
Yeah, you'd be able to see him out with scoop and score right there. Multiple touchdowns in this game for him, and he's not complaining how he got it done.
Butker on for the PAT. And the lead is now 24. They had the short field and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 16. Touchdown. Here's Butker on to kick it away.
Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit that film and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he's got some space here.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 139 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Carr's throw taken in by Adams.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Carr now on first down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the Chiefs are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right?
There he goes, right side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we've been disappointed watching their execution throughout this contest.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. So out come the Raiders. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if I kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a side of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held at the line of scrimmage.
With this second down started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas.
Hardman on the return.
42-yard punt, 6 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. The open man here, Renfro. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Shotgun now for Carr. And it's complete to Adams. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Carr going to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked up by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one. Under the lights in prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. When they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly. They show up, and they show up.
So for the Chiefs, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Buffalo Bills next week. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7.